episode 4 of the Dark Train Review. I decided to watch something that I didn't know anything about, only by the poster that I saw. Sweet Karma. I've been a little bit behind on catching up on films that are in my instant queue. That one been sitting there for a while because something about the poster just caught my eye. So I thought, alright, I'll take a look at this film. I know nothing about it, but it's this interesting poster. You got a girl in lingerie with a gun and this bright contrast of white and red. It almost could be like a Japanese anime poster. You know, me being the guy, I was just like, hey, what's this about? The film is about a mute Russian immigrant whose sister was tricked into going into the Eastern European to Canadian drug trafficking scams. I know nothing about that. I don't read about that. I was probably in the mode to be watching an exploitation flick. The whole premise of the film has been done before. Half-naked women. You've got creepy guys with guns, seedy, looking locations. The film starts off, and it kind of has like this weird flashback thing going on back and forth. I was a little confused at first, but I figured, whatever, I'll just give it a shot. So I just sat through it. Surprisingly, the film, for what it was, wasn't too bad. The main character, who is Karma, basically is going to go find out what happened to her sister by actually entering this world of sleaze and prostitution and strip clubs and things like that. But watching the film, I was kind of captivated by it. It was shot in a very low-budget style. At times, it was kind of irritating because it's that handheld work that sometimes just drives me bonkers. It had that kind of gritty, narrative feel, and I'm sure that was, people are like, well, that's part of the charm of the film. It's kind of a sleazy underworld kind of thing. Yeah, that's fine, but the reality probably is that they had the budget, of a new set of tires, maybe. And that's about it. But, you got sleazy hotels, you got prostitutes, you got creepy villains, kind of thing going on. The main person in the film is Karma. She doesn't speak a word of dialogue. She's absolutely mute. And she does everything with her eyes and her body language. And occasionally she'll actually take to writing things down on a napkin or a piece of paper, whatever is available to communicate, which I thought was pretty cool. The main girl is absolutely beautiful. I don't know who this actress is. I believe she's a model of some sort. She did a good job, and she rose above the material and, turned in a pretty decent performance. She's stunning. You want the lead female to be beautiful and to kick some ass, because that will definitely bring in the male audience members and, people that are just kind of into that exploitation film altogether. She does emote through her eyes and her lips and her hand gestures and things like that. It's like the film almost has a split personality. There's one scene where she's basically, she's been hurt, and another girl is kind of telling, her what happened to her sister. And it's like one long take, and by the end of the take, the actress is crying. I felt something about that. That surprised me. I was very surprised by that. I felt bad for her, and I kind of felt her pain. That's, the warm, tingly kind of, oh my gosh, how could this happen kind of thing. Then you got the other side of the film, which is definitely directed by a male director, where the whole movie probably could have been built around this scene. The best lit shot, the longest scene in the film, a strip club scene. The main character, she puts on this white outfit that she's just kind of very shyly dancing. And, you can't take your eyes off of it, And not just from a sexual lust standpoint. I mean, you really, at that point in the film, you're like, what is she going to do after this, It's not a conventional striptease. It's a very, it's like, here's the honeypot, so I can spring my trap. But I kind of feel like maybe the whole film was built around that scene, and, hey, that's what it is, you got to bring them in. There was really cool type of, club techno music thing going on in some of the scenes. Some of the actors, it's like all I really cared about was the main character. Everybody else in the film was just kind of, They say some cliche stuff that you just, it's just, you kind of roll your eyes and just deal with it because, you're only checking out of the world for about an hour and a half. The violence in the film is pretty well handled. I mean, it's simple, you know, kind of blood and things like that. She's always in the know about her surroundings. The fact that she's a mute doesn't mean that she's not, you know, aware of her surroundings. Whenever she's in trouble, she adapts. She reacts to something. She drops one weapon, but she finds another weapon. The film does have some really shoddy camera work and some real handheld, grainy type atmosphere. It has a feel of that 70s kind of thing going. Let's take a subject matter and let's just build a loose plot on it. There's enough TNA in the film that we don't really care. I would say most likely the people that are going to like this film are not really film buffs or film geeks. They're just going to go in expecting, you know, what they get. The only thing I did not like about the film, and I usually don't gripe about this type of stuff, was the ending. The ending kind of undid everything, the whole journey that I had been traveling on to get to this point in the film. The ending just kind of undid all that. It was, you know, and it wasn't like a cool David Fincher kind of thing. It was like a what the hell kind of thing. So overall, I would say that if you watch this film, don't go in expecting a lot. Just go in, have a good time, grab your popcorn and a, you know, wine cooler or something. Because it's not highbrow cinema. It's just, you know, it's just an exploitation film. Because of the bad camera work and some of the bad performances and just some other things that bother me, and particularly the ending, I'm going to give this one 3 stars. Thanks for watching episode 4 of the Dark Train Review, and we'll see you next time.